Well, g'day everyone, and welcome to Aussie Tech Heads. It's episode 710, and it's the 28th of January 2021. So, first of all, Happy New Year! It's the first show since I've been back since the New Year, and yeah, have you had a Merry Christmas and a good New Year? Hope this year brings lots of happiness and joy, and more importantly, prosperity and health. All right, I'm joined this week by Paul, our good friend Paul. We'll get to him in a minute because, as you can see, we're not flash like the actual Aussie Tech Heads there, Will and Jace. We got no intro or outro. We'll try and change that for the next one. We'll try and get a bit more professional. But at the moment, it's just straight in and straight out. That's what you get with us. All right, so we are brought to you by athwebhosting.com.au for some fast, speedy, powerful WordPress or anything else, Joomla or web hosting, whatever, and emails. So you can get some emails with your web host if you want. So, you get rid of your Glenn@gmail.com, and you might want Glenn@boxjellyfish.com.au, whatever you're selling or whatever, you know what I mean. But so that's yes, and also to start a new company where you can register your company 24/7 with ASIC, and you get all the documentation for you to walk out the door, print it off, walk out the door, and start trading. All right, now what else have we got here? Jeez, I get rusty on these things, don't I? It's you can find us at facebook.com/Aussie Tech Heads, twitter.com/Aussie Tech Heads. Not much goes on at Twitter, to be honest, and youtube.com/Aussie Tech Heads while we're still there. We haven't gone the way of Trump. We are still on the YouTube, thank goodness. And a big thank you to our Patreon subscribers. So I've got a few here that I need to mention. I don't know what happened to my little picture there. I did have a picture. What happened to you guys? Well, I'll have to come back to that. Oh, no, here we go. I had it.
I see pictures.
Oh, I've got pictures now. Oh, I've got to read the names out. I had a picture of the people who pledged their kookaburras to us, and we want to send a big thank you to Kate, the Bouncing Yellow. I think that's what it is. Daniel and Amar. I think that's. Yeah, and David and Chris, and also Andrew on the PayPal. I know Jason will have put together a special little show just for the Patreon dudes and the PayPal and the Ko-fi. I think we'll set it all up. I can't keep up with Will. He's just a madman. And so they do a little sneaky little show once a week. I think it goes for about 10 minutes, but it's just a little sneaky one for the absolute legends of the Patreons and donators. So good on you. You can get us also on the AussieTechRadio.com, or you can download your TuneIn radio app and search up Aussie Tech Radio. And that just is, look, there's about half a dozen or so Aussie Tech podcasts, and they just roll around. And wherever you enter it, that's where you're up to. And then you can just listen to it until you're sick of it, and then come back the next day and you might pick it up from somewhere else. But look, if you've got a podcast, and look, I know, look, as I said, there's probably about half a dozen on a good day. Look, look, if someone's got a podcast they want to throw up there, just look, send me some info about it, loosely tied to tech if you can. If it's a techie type of podcast, just send it in. We'd like to get some more variety in there, actually. So, that's AussieTechRadio.com. And there's new shows every Friday. So you don't get the same old shows going around. You're not listening to last year's stuff. It's weekly. It's up to date weekly. All right. But anyway, I think I got all away with all that. Oh, yes. And the other Patreon. Oh, yes. The anonymous Patreons people. Thank you as well. They don't want to be their identity doesn't want to be divulged, so they're hiding, but where they are there. So thank you. Without them, that things just don't work. All right. So Paul, how you doing?
Good, mate. How are you, Glenn?
Good. Thanks. How's your Christmas and break and New Year and all that sort of stuff?
I got a week away up at the coast. Not that I'm a big fan of the beach, sun, surf, and sand, but we got a bit of a break for a week or so up there in Markula, actually, with some of the family. So you got a good break, and lots of work built up before and during Christmas, and now I'm really busy trying to catch up.
Yes, it seems to be the busyness hasn't really stopped, has it? Which has been good. Like in these dark pandemic times, like things like in our industry, and thankfully, I guess we're in an industry that things haven't really slowed. I do feel for people in hospitality and tourism and all that.
They did it tough, and there's more going to close and stuff yet too, I reckon.
Yeah, look, I know a couple of friends of mine that they were working for travel agencies and stuff. They sort of stuck around for the JobKeeper, sort of the initial JobKeeper, and they just can't keep going because there's nothing going on.
Yeah, once JobKeeper is pulled completely, businesses will then close up shop.
Yeah, so I guess like for the rest of us, we just got to get in and get it while we can.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's good. So what sort of problems have you? Any sort of repeating problems been coming up?
Yeah. Oh, the good old Windows updates. That's always been an issue. You know, people get sick of what, you know, they go to do something. Oh, please wait. You know, half an hour later, the old spinning circle, busy doing stuff. So often people say, well, how can we overcome that? And I've got several tools in my little toolkit to fix that. And I'm actually been doing quite a bit of remote support. I haven't deliberately been looking for it, but it's just sort of worked out that my initial contact and that with customers is usually face to face. But from that point on, I'm often find myself I can do remote support just as good as I can on site. So I've been spending a lot of time working at co-working space, which is where I am now, and doing remote support for people anywhere, anytime too.
And you're using TeamViewer?
Yeah, TeamViewer. I've fairly heavily invested in that, and I also use TeamViewer to support mobiles. I can actually remote control mobiles as well.
Yeah, you can't. You can do the Androids. I know you can remote control Androids, but iOS.
You can, as long as the person installs the app. It's called TeamViewer Quick Support. TeamViewer keeps on building to their weapons they've got available, and it's for iOS and Android now. I pay a lot for that.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, it's expensive, but can you, on the iOS devices, can you like take control and click stuff, like push?
Yes, I can take total control.
Yeah,
okay, they've got to allow access, and they've got to authorize, and then away they go. And that's really has made my life a bit easier because people often had to go to people's places to help them. Mind you, I've only just got that service, and I haven't promoted it much because I've been too busy with other stuff. So there's nothing like paying for the service and not using it.
Yes, yeah, that's right. And so that's interesting because I know. So when you don't service Macs at all, do you? So if someone rings you,
I can put my hand to anything, but it's a case of, can I do it efficiently? No, not really. I sometimes someone has how do you cut and paste on a Mac? I usually can figure that out pretty quick. We all can. But if they said, how can you do an operating system rebuild with an account re-establishment, whatever it is, I go, okay, these are the guys to talk to, and I refer them on to others that specialize in that field. Unfortunately, they're not real available. There's not a lot of them around, and they charge a lot.
Yeah, well, the Apple service guys are, yes, they're professional and niche type of field. But what I was looking for is because I use a thing called Zoho Assist for my remote accessing, and like with Macs, I've just of late. I think with the new Mac OS, which is probably a little bit old now, but that the customer has to do a lot more to be able to give me access. So normally what they do is I give them a code, they download a small bit of like companion software, they install it, and then I can see their screen. But then now with the latest Mac OS SX, they've got to actually like go into settings. They've got to click, I allow this and I allow that, and it's like 2 or 3 more of a couple of steps that is very off-putting, and which makes you don't want to deal with the Macs remotely because people can't do it. They can't do it.
Yeah. Mac is that's inherent in Mac though. Mac is more locked down than Windows. Windows can be locked down like that, but fortunately you can unlock it easily and keep it unlocked. And it's an old story. If you increase your security, you reduce your convenience, and they're directly relative. So Mac, you might have an inconvenience, but it's more secure.
Yes, and I think the other ones you can't do you might be able to do the Androids, but not the iOS. You can just like view the iOS screen. So you got to say, there you go, push that button. Oh, I see what you're doing now. Go push that button. But Because I know
And
I've had
that would probably suffice for some people too.
Look, I've had a couple of support requests from Microsoft in the last couple of months where, you ring them up. I had an Office 365 issue that I couldn't figure out. And so they are pretty good now, Microsoft. If you've got a paid Microsoft product.
Yeah, they use Log Me In, I believe.
Yes, that's right. And it's the similar sort of a setup. Like they give me a link, I click it, I download the companion software, install it, and then they just go allow, whatever. And then they pop in. So, and then although still they don't click. They can't click anything. They underline what they want you to do.
No, they can if you give them if they request permission and you give it to them, they can do it. I've done that before.
Oh, okay. Because they start out not being able to click, because I just thought it was some sort of they don't want to be responsible for clicking the wrong thing.
I know sometimes that is the case, but no, what they do, they will connect and see your screen, and then they click another button which will request remote control. Then you click OK, and then they've got the same as TeamViewer. TeamViewer can work on the same principle. Sometimes people, I'll work on, I have to have unattended access because business will say, okay, we're closing up for night, going home. And they'll say, okay, make sure you log in and do the updates or do whatever you have to do. And I basically remote in, I suspend the machine so it doesn't go to sleep. And then when I get a chance, I'll jump on and I'll do my thing without needing their input at all.
Because you're still a fan of not allowing your machines to update?
Well, I suppress the updates and roll them out on a schedule that suits the customer. And I make sure that things are backed up, because Microsoft does some horrific things with its updates, including deleting documents, music, videos. That scares people. And I say, well, let's be safe here, and unless they haven't got valuable data there, but it's all by their schedule, so they're well prepared.
Yeah, that's good. So it's good that you're busy. That's good that you're busy.
Yep, I'm busy. And you're busy?
Yep, been plodding along. New webpage coming soon for the hosting, that is. The AussieTechheads.com.au. Well, she sort of finished, so she's going to stay like that for a while, because they got it. There's a lot of time to do, so they can say it as it is. But it's been pretty good. So just what are we up to? Like, Australia Day was just on Tuesday, so we just kicked around, had a barbie and a few beers and stuff at some mate's place, and it was really good.
Yeah. Why don't you tell people about your latest business venture?
What's that?
The Blue Ocean hosting. Have you got another one coming?
No. But as you know, we've got the athwebhosting.com.au, and so that is so I've developed another one that's a bit more for the professional. So it's got more research, more server resource and everything, and it's mainly it is aimed more at the say the business website where it's just it allows things to run faster. It's a bit more tightened down, so it doesn't allow as many variants of things to happen on there. But look, that's been keeping me pretty busy. You can check that out, which is the website, which is going to be a new one coming soon. But that's at the blueoceanwebhosting.com.au. And what is going to happen eventually is the ATH web hosting will still be there, but it's going to be powered by Blue Ocean, because I'm sick of doing two systems. So I want to try.
So you'll just update your Blue Ocean hosting website, and that will update all the back end for ATH.
Yeah. So unfortunately, the invoices and that will come out Blue Ocean, but it'll for the ATH guys, it'll still be all pushed through the ATH domain and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But that's all pretty technical, but it'll just happen behind the scenes. Well, we better get into a story. I've got a quick little story to start off with, I suppose.
Go for it, bud.
Now, we would have seen or I don't know if you're lucky enough to see one, but Google had those internet balloons flying around the US, at least, I think, anyway. And what they were doing was they were there to deliver Wi-Fi to the country.
Were they got to be blimps? Blimps is the term for it, is it?
The balloons. The
internet it's a hot air balloon or a hydrogen fuel balloon.
Hitting into the nitty gritty. Loon, I'll have a look.
They're very. Let's have a look. Yeah.
Loon was the long-term experimental bet from Google, from its ex-business unit. It failed to get costs low enough to make it sustainable. So they are winding down the Loon project. Yeah, early this year. The balloons were the size of tennis courts and self-navigating. And the chief executive officer said, while we've found a number of willing partners along the way, we haven't found a way to get the cost low enough to build a long-term sustainable business. So like anything, if it doesn't make money, it's going to die. But let's have a look at the webpage. But while I'm getting that up, actually, hang on, let me see if I can copy link, put it over here. Geez, we're professional on the standing hosts are going good, aren't we? Now, what else am I going to say? Oh, yeah, I'll have a look at a couple of other links that we've mentioned years ago from memory, but I'll pull them out again and show you. But here we go. This is where is that screen? There we go. So let's get, Google says goodbye to the giant balloons. That's
it is a balloon, a big expanding balloon. Yeah, okay. It's not a blimp like the one I said.
No, it is just a big balloon. It looks like a big jellyfish, doesn't it? Really, I guess.
Yeah, it probably has. It probably will be filled with a light gas, not heat like a hot air balloon.
Yeah, well, it might be hot. It's got some solar panels there.
No, hot air means it's got to carry around gas tanks and burn it.
Oh, well, it doesn't say. I don't think. Did it make? Loon was 9 years ago. Set up 9 years ago. It's a struggle.
Wow. Yeah.
Gigantic, yeah. So the scrapping of Loon comes after a year after Alphabet shut down another experimental business called McCaney, which provided wind power from gigantic kites.
Wow.
Yeah, so it doesn't actually say what was in the balloon, but what did you say? Just hot air.
Yeah, well, no, you know your typical balloons. You float around and go for a romantic hot air balloon trip somewhere. They're called hot air balloons. The balloon flames and the heat goes into the balloon, and that makes the balloon rise. Whereas with these things, I think you'll find they'll be filled with a helium gas or not hydrogen. Hydrogen's explosive.
Let's have a look.
I think you'll find it'll be filled with helium.
Okay, there we go. We'll get another site. Tell us what they were filled with.
Yeah.
Alphabet shut down a Loon project that used helium balloons.
Yeah, helium. Yeah.
To beam internet access to remote areas. So that was that. Now the little pages I wanted to have a look at was like when I was reading this, I was just thinking, Google has a tendency to close a lot of things, don't they?
Oh yeah, they really do shut the door pretty fast on stuff, especially their software. That's why so many people have been so hesitant to go with new things they bring out. Like they've got this really good piece of software out now which runs on Android and iOS called Google Duo. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, Duo's good. I used to use Duo.
Yeah, Duo, but that's cross-platform. Unlike FaceTime, it's as good as FaceTime, but it's cross-platform, which means you can use it on both. Whereas Apple restricts their FaceTime to their own platform themselves. So Google Duo, check it out. I've used it a few times, and it's high-quality audio, video. You get all fancy features just like you have with FaceTime. And the beauty of it is, which Apple doesn't have, and that is cross-platform.
But I think like with talking about Apple's probably, you'd have to say sort of shooting themselves in the foot there, but they seem to like it. Like they want to keep everything in house. But I think like these days, instead of going to the Duo, which was good, I think because I've navigated towards things like the WhatsApp, and then obviously with their problems of late, or potentially problems with the terms and conditions and sharing info with Google. Well, I've sort of then downloaded the Telegram, and I've also got a Signal.
Signal. What's Signal like? I've never used Signal.
It's just the same as all the rest of them. It's
just an IM.
Yeah, and your phone, video, it's all
okay.
So but anyway, getting back to what I was going to go with the Google thing was they do just punt a lot of stuff, and look, and it would make you like if you was a business, like you don't really want to go, that's a good little thing. I'll invest, 100,000 in that from Google, only to find that 2 years later that it's dead. So there's a Google cemetery on the internet, and I'll show you.
I've heard of that. Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah, the good old Google cemetery.
Yeah, so
you notice Hangouts is there at the top.
Yeah, Hangouts. It went in December 20. I've got a thing called Fabric? I've never heard of it.
I see Google Cloud Print. I used to, the top left, I used to use that quite a bit, and I thought it was great because I could print from anywhere to home because all these printers had Google Cloud Print. Well, Google knifed it, and now you got all these printers which are capable of it. That there's no services to run it.
That's right. Yeah. So that's been around for a long time. I remember.
It's been around 10 years, I think.
Yes, it's been around a long time. Just for your information, everyone, this website is gcemetery.co. Gcemetery.co. A couple of other ones, Google Clips. Some of them I've never really heard of.
Some of them never got off the ground. Yeah,
YouTube.
Doesn't the Fusion table there? That looks a lot like their spreadsheet one.
Yeah. Okay. Data visualization.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, look, so it tells you the reason why they. Okay, let's have a look at the reason why they knifed Google Cloud Print. Cloud Print has been around since 2010. You're right, so that's 20 years.
Yeah, yep.
10 years. Will no longer be supported. Devices are no longer used. We recommend that you identify with an alternative solution and execute a migration strategy.
Didn't you just say they gave you a reason why they knifed it?
That's what I thought. It's a reason. Google.
No.
Reason. No, that's what I thought the reason would be, but
that's not really a reason. That's just a statement, really.
Yeah, that's just a blur. But there was another.
The problem is it was getting too hard. It wasn't a very reliable system. I used it a lot and found it pretty darn unreliable.
Right, because there's another one called killedbygoogle.com.
Yeah.
So you've got a few other things here, Android things, Google Hangouts again.
They really take some risks, don't they? And they knife them. For means a better term, they get rid of them pretty quick.
Here's that Google Cloud Print again. That's
Google,
which of course they do.
Google has announced Cloud Print. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Google has been in the beta. What has it been in beta since 2010? So it's been beta for 10 years, just like Gmail.
Yeah, quite possible.
Yeah, but
see, anyway, they had videos. There's video. See that guy in a video? I've watched that video. That video. Was an explanation of how to do stuff, and I jumped on the Google Print bandwagon some time ago, back in like 2012, once I knew it was available.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, look, I think I used it successfully a couple of times, but I didn't really get right into it. But
well, you got to have a need for it. You don't operate mobile that much, whereas I'm on the road all the time.
But I think every time you went to print from like a Google web page or something, I think that always came up as an option. Google Print.
Yeah, and it's still funny thing is it still does appear, even though and it's got a big exclamation mark saying this isn't available anymore, and you can't actually delete it from your print list in Google when you print.
Yeah, right.
Let's keep moving.
Yep, you go. You're on.
I'm on. Okay, let's see here. All right, I'm going to probably go with the. I've got a primary story. I'll go with my secondary story just to warm up. Now, I haven't read all this article, so I'm just going to. On the fly here, Apple says its big privacy change is coming in early spring. That's spring, probably American, as conflict with Facebook heats up. Key points: the next beta version of its iPhone, iPad operating system will force app developers to ask permission to access the phone's unique identifier. Apple confirmed to CNBC Wednesday. The company said that it will roll out in early spring. Companies that depend on online advertising are afraid that these changes will reduce the effectiveness of targeted ads, and Facebook has been a particularly vocal critic. Apple CEO Tim Cook is set to speak Thursday about the data privacy at the Computers Privacy and Data Protection Conference in Brussels. Pretty fancy picture there. I wonder where that is. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I can guess probably what it's got to say, but Apple, in fact, you touched on this a bit earlier, that there was privacy issues that you have to open up to allow stuff, and this is just Apple locking down those who want targeted advertising and stuff. They're locking it down, locking those out. Through the developers are required to allow permissions. So feel free to read through the article, you people out there, if you want to, but that's not surprising. That's the way Google's trying to protect their people. And chances are Microsoft and everyone else will follow suit probably down the track anyway.
Yeah, so because I know, just talking about the privacy or the way that Apple does do things, I was just inquiring today actually about replacing Apple Watch faces, like the glass, if they break. Someone gave me an Apple Watch, Apple Watch 4, and the glass had like pretty much broke. It still works, but it was obviously dropped that hard that the glass had come out, so it would still work. So I just like bit of a super glued it back in and give it to the kids, and they're happy. I
Yeah.
was talking to Michael from the Aussie Mac Zone there today, and I just said, "Oh, do you fix Apple Watches?" And he said, "No, they're too small, too intricate, and blah blah." But he had got one fixed for his wife, and and I think it was a couple of $100 at the little,
So
little,
he got his wife's one fixed.
yeah. So at the little, the little shop at the corner, say,
Yeah.
not the
Oh,
the
yeah.
little corner.
So you lose your warranty. Not there would have been a warranty on it anyway.
Yeah, but he was saying you also, once you do that at the third party, you don't get the NFC capabilities. That is destroyed. So that's
Really?
just that's
Because
if
it's probably
you
built into the genuine screen, and it's no one else is obviously replicating that.
Yeah, so I think he said something like the in-store was a couple of $100, and if he was to do it properly, which would have included the NFC, no doubt, at the Apple store was up to about $300 odd.
Yeah.
So
What the watch is only worth about 500, aren't they?
yeah, I'm not sure what model it was. I don't think it was the newest one. So you're right. So but who cares about the NFC? You put it on your phone anyway, most likely. So if you want to pay for stuff, but yeah, so that was just something I thought I'd just pass on. That just came to mind.
Yeah, and that was Xiaomi, not Xiaomi, sorry. That was Apple doing what they do best, which is protecting people at the trade-off of usually convenience. If any advertisers are ones that are going to pay the price there.
Well, with the iPhone, like I'm quite happy with mine. Like I don't find there's too much issues with with this sort of strict sort of stuff. I know, as we spoke earlier at the show about maybe remote controlling them. If I needed remote control, could get a bit tricky if you don't have the team viewer. But other than that, yeah, I'm happy for the phone to be as secure as. If an app needs to ask for the identifier, I don't really mind. I don't think.
What if it asks 12 times though? That's very 12 times means it's very secure.
Does it?
But it's not very convenient, is it?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Well, there's always a reason. I think everyone's getting a bit more privacy aware these days. Apparently, the stats of the downloads of Signal and Telegram that shot up into like millions more just as the day after WhatsApp said they're going to share their data with Facebook. The stats on that are immense.
On the Android platform, you've got the Google Messages, which I think it can be shared with it's cross-platform as well, and it's just it's SMS, and they're integrating instant message services into the Google Messages software, and that is currently there's a lot of uproar about it, but they actually didn't have end-to-end encryption built in. I have talked about this before, and now they're scrambling to. I think they're going to try and get end-to-end encryption integrated into messages as soon as possible. But at this point, you send stuff via SMS, via Google Messages. She's not locked down and can be intercepted.
I think when you I think as time goes on, I don't know if it's just me or whatnot, but you're sort of leaning away from Google. Like I don't think there is a wholesome company as what you're led to believe.
I'm leaning more towards. There's two big players which I'm fairly heavy on. That's Microsoft and I am heavy on Google because Google is less than the customer said, we want encryption, and they said, okay, we're working on it. Whereas when they first brought out RCS, rich communication services, they left that out because it was just too complex and it was too inconvenient. Well, I think people are willing to put up with the inconvenience to get a more secure system, it seems.
But I just mean like the data that they collect and what they can do with it and so forth. I think, it's there's a lot of data out there, and the way that they can just ban people from their platforms, which I don't really agree with either. I think there's some problems that I'm not that excited about.
Yeah, well, where does democracy? Is it democratic? Is it freedom of speech, which is what the internet's for, or is it not?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll all sort of come to light and just roll around and come to a conclusion one day. But we'll see which how that
Yeah.
comes. But I want to the next one I want to talk about is the Alexa. Now I got an Alexa just before. Oh, she's going off every time I say her. She loves
Well,
me.
you've got a speaker also, a Google Home, haven't you?
Yeah, but look, I tell you, I like the this one better. I can't say it. She keeps wanting to talk to me, but I like
Okay.
I like Alexa better. She seems to understand me easier. She does a few better, nicer things that are sort of built in. I guess they must just program them at the store. I can say,
Yeah.
hey, Thingo, turn the Xbox on, and then the Xbox comes on. The little things like that. I'm sure you could do that with the Google Home as well. But look, the Google Home wasn't doing it for me. It just wouldn't listen to me, and I retrained it, and it just wouldn't listen. It wouldn't understand. It was just a pain in the bum. But geez, this Alexa,
you're obviously pretty ignorable.
yeah. And then I got a Fire Stick, which I love as well.
A what?
A Fire Stick. It's like a little Chromecast, but it's a
whose database does that use?
Amazon. It's an Amazon thing.
Amazon. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and it's got a little remote control, which was good. So say like instead of like with the Netflix and the stand, you can put them on your phone, and sure, then Google Chromecast, and that's good. But see, with the good thing that I like it anyway about the Fire Stick is that it's like a little PVR of sorts where it comes up all those Netflix stand and Prime and whatever, they all on the screen. Use remote just to go through them.
Okay.
So you can see and you can search for something, and it'll just whatever platform it's like the Apple TV. It just tells you where it's on at, and then it's just
okay.
everything in the one spot. And I like the Fire Stick over than having to send it to Chrome all the time.
Yeah. Chrome has got a new product that's come out called Chromecast TV, I think it is, and it has a little remote thing, and I think that's really freed up. You don't have to use your mobile; you can just use your remote if you want to.
Must be a very similar thing then. If it's
they look, one company brings something out, and the next one, what do you know? The next one's doing the same thing in some way.
Yeah, look, the Fire Sticks have been around for a while, so I wouldn't say that like the Google's taken a while to copy them. But the other good thing about the Fire Stick that I liked is that you can install apps onto it. So I can install like Plex onto it, and now I can just with the remote just watch anything from my little server that I've got on the server. So it
sounds like a lot of flexibility.
It is. I love it. So it's good. Anyway, getting back to my little Alexa story. Let's get
carry on. Sorry, keep interrupting.
So she can now bark like a dog, and that's supposed to help keep people away. So there you go. So
you can make it bark?
Yes, there's a thing called the Alexa Guard Plus, which is a new subscription service launching this week, apparently, to help turn your Echo device in the home security system for $5 a month or $50 a year. This might be, is this US Gizmodo? This might be US centric, but it'll probably, find its way around. But anyway, so yeah, there's a little table there of what it can do. So the good thing is, like, listen for smoke alarms, and then if it hears a smoke alarm, it can ping your phone or something.
Oh, so it doesn't bark; it does more stuff.
Yeah, it does more stuff than just bark.
But what's the bark bit? That's if it hears a front door knock, it goes woof woof.
Yeah, sound dogs barking when motion is detected outside. So if
obviously they have to have a motion detector attached to them.
Yeah, there'd be probably peripherals that you could buy to do all this sort of stuff. And then
okay, or one of those Swan systems. You could probably they're probably designed to hook up with this. Anyway, yeah. So, that must be good speakers that sound like a dog.
Yeah, well. Yeah, the little echoes are pretty good, but I've got a couple of Sonos speakers here that run Alexa as well. It's not just the little echoes that run them, but even that little echoes, they're nice little units. Like it just seems so much. It just seems I can interact with it a lot smoother and easier than I could with the Google Home. And the setup.
Have you got it in that room with you there?
The Alexa.
Yeah.
Yeah, she keeps. Yeah.
So you could say, Alexa, start barking, and she start barking. You can make it bark.
Well, I haven't subscribed to that app, the Alexa Guard Plus.
You probably have to say, what noise does a dog make? And then they'll probably...
Can you bark like a dog?
Okay, here's Jurassic Park.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can, just a little bit, yeah. I can hear riff, 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 riff.
So, look, I guess Google Home would do that as well, but
Yeah.
I think the thing is that it's all tied together. So, yeah, something trips on outside, so, you know, your
Yeah.
sensor at Wi-Fi is into Alexa, and then it goes, all right, send the dogs out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that's that thing. So, yeah, look, I'm happy with that. I've been buying a bit of, I subscribed to Prime. What would I pay? It was about $7 a month or $60 a year. So I went I tested it out, and I thought, you know what? It's not bad. Makes you buy a few things from Amazon as well, and it's free postage. And you go, oh, I'll get the money's worth out of it.
Is Amazon, I have a look at stuff on Amazon. I really can't see good value compared to other online platforms, including eBay out there.
Yeah, look, to be honest, I've only really bought DVDs and Blu-rays off the Amazon.
I've never bought one.
I can't think. I don't buy a lot of it. I just buy different things that I like. The Doctor Who box sets. They're on Amazon.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I bought the a Blake 7 DVD set because, you know, you can't find them anywhere these days. So I thought, Blake 7 was a good old show. Just buying all the old shows, you know, reminisce a bit.
Yep.
Columbo, you know.
Columbo. Yeah.
All the good ones, you know. Stand the test of time. Yeah, all right. So that's cool. That's all I want to say about that. I'm into the Amazon world now. I've sort of ditched the Google AI, and I'm talking to Alexa AI.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
So what are you going to give away your speaker? Are you your Google? What's it called? Google speaker?
The Google Home. I did. I went to a small business expo and just give it away.
Okay.
Oh, what they're worth? Right. What new they're worth? This was a generation 1 or 2. I think they're up to 3. I don't know, but whatever it was.
Okay.
$60. I had it for 2 years, so you're not going to sell it, eh?
Yeah. I had a client bought a phone, and he got a Google Home with it for free, and he was limited with his capability online. I said, if you start saying, okay, Google, you're going to find your phone will be answering, your speaker will be answering, and you're going to have a problem. I said, it wasn't the sort of thing that suited this guy, and he gave it to me, and I put mine in the cupboard, and I don't know if I need to use it. I got my phone can do everything that can do anyway.
Yeah. Look, the what do I use this for? I could say, because the Fire Stick connects to Alexa, because it's from the same mob, then I can say to it, hey, Alexa, say, hey thing, can you play a show? Like, can you play Your Honor? And then I can sit there in the lounge and just speak to it, and it will just load up Netflix, load up the show, and away you go, just without even interacting physically.
You like your automation. I'm a bit of a manual guy.
Wow, automation is the way to go. It's the future. It's the future. Yeah. But look, hey, sorry.
Sorry, carry on.
I was just going to say, look, I know you've got another story there, which is a big
I've got another
one.
2, actually.
Oh, we do the small one. We'll leave the big one, the Google one, for Will and Jace.
Because we run out of time, aren't we? Yeah, they probably will talk about it, and there could be some. It was just about Google threatening to pull their search engine, and people are. Yeah. Okay. No, because we're going to run out of time. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. But can I talk about maybe a little one?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to bring up a news article for this one. I've read plenty of articles on it. You do a bit of search and you'll find it. Xiaomi. You know how I bought a few Xiaomis over the last couple of years?
Yes.
Xiaomi phones, and I've got my watch here. That's a Xiaomi watch. Well, it just so happens, I don't know if you remember, a couple of years ago, I was a little worried that Xiaomi may end up going down the same track as Huawei, where they're going to get banned from this and that, because they're a massive company in China. They're not that big in the Western world. They never got as big as Huawei did, but they're still the second or third biggest phone manufacturer in China, and they're probably third or fourth in the world, Xiaomi. Now, there was US has just passed. I've been worried about US giving them, blocking them. And sure enough, a couple of weeks ago, US said, we're passing an act where United States people cannot invest in Xiaomi. And that's just the thin edge of the wedge they started. That was like Huawei. They started like that. And you're going to find that in time they will block Xiaomi from accessing the they'll be black. Yeah, the Chinese phone maker Xiaomi follows Huawei. Yeah, and they're going to go down the same path. They're going to get the bullet. So I'm now moving away from them pretty steeply.
Right. So what are you going to do? Like, just
Well,
find...
I like the Android One range of phones, and they had a really good value Android One range. There was a Xiaomi Mi A1, A2, and A3. The A3 had some pretty inherent faults with it, and then they decided to pull away from Android One. So for nearly 12 months, I've been moving away from them, and I took a risk in buying this watch because I had an idea that because this watch only has Chinese language in it. I get my notifications in English, but the apps are all Chinese, and I thought I'll buy this watch and just hope that they will bring out the English version. Well, I reckon they're probably never going to bring it out now because US is going to slowly cut them out of the market. They've got no reason to put English in.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I reckon this watch could be a dead loss for me now.
But are they still? Is it running? It's running Android.
It's running Google Wear OS, but that Google Wear OS, it can't access the Wear OS App Store. It can only access the Chinese one, which is all Chinese language.
Yeah.
And I would like to be able to access the Google side. And they say they've been making promises for over a year now. Oh, we're going to bring out integrate the Google Wear apps into it so you can use that. And I thought, okay, I'll roll the dice. I'll buy this, hoping that they weren't going to they're going to follow through and do it. But United States has come on board, and they're going to slowly shut Xiaomi down in the Western worlds. And I can't see this watch ever getting English now.
Can you root it?
I'm not going to stuff around with that. Have you rooted much stuff?
No.
I mean, technology-wise, that is.
Well, that's an open platform. There's one Samsung Galaxy S9.
And how long did you muck around with that for?
Yeah, a little while, and then I had to keep doing it. Then I couldn't access what I wanted to do.
Yeah. I went down that track. I rooted a couple of different devices, and it's like overclocking computers. It's just not worth the stuffing around.
That's right.
You got to be a real enthusiast to do it.
Yeah, look, if you had the time to do it, and you wanted to see how things worked, and you might be a bit of a tightwad, well, then you'd go down that path. But
yeah.
Yes, look, I went away. I went to as you know, I went to Google, the phones, to the Google platform.
Android,
to the Android platform, because I wanted to get away from that. I wanted to just go back after 10 years or whatever. I wanted to go back to see if it improved and if I could work with it, because like I had that Xiaomi Mi A2, which was like a third of the price of an iPhone. I thought, well, I could 3 of these phones for one iPhone. So that's why I did it, a tightwad. And so, but it just didn't work for me. Like, I was probably too used to the iOS, GUI and stuff.
Yeah, it does take a real lot to move away from iOS. And once someone's in the iOS game, it's hard to escape it. And iOS has got some really great, because they don't give you choice, and they always choose the best way to do things. They're good for that reason. But if you want choice out there, you don't. I want choice, and Apple takes a lot of control. Like I think it'd be much more difficult. Now, I was saying that TeamViewer has remote access. I bet you there's another 3 or 4 more presses you have to enable me to access remotely. Whereas with Android, you can say always allow. Apple won't ever allow that.
Yeah,
that's just simply the difference.
Yeah, and look, at the end of the day, that's probably I think that's the right thing to do. At the end of the day, I know it's a pain in the bum. I think that maybe they maybe should tie it to your fingerprint or to your password, so you just type your password in, and then it just all opens up. But it is a good idea for it to close back every now and then just to reopen it. I guess it's you
Well,
want
I've
to
got
be.
to say, both phones have a market out there, so
Hmm.
they're both got pretty equal market across the full world. Android's got a bigger market, but it's got the lower socioeconomic. So they both got their place.
Well, just moving on to the last story, I thought I'd do a
Yep.
little app of the week, the month, or
Ooh, that's right. We came up with that a while ago, didn't we? Yeah.
yeah, well, yeah. So the app of the until we're on next. so it's called a video and TV cast. Now I'll just give you the screenshot of this. Now I'll tell you, this is really good. Now you might think, what the hell is this? Well, I've already got everything Chromecast on my TV anyway. You know, I don't really need an app to do it, especially one that you can pay $15 for. But there is a free version, and on the free version, you just can't do things like scrub through your media. So, but what this does, and the reason why I bought it was, when you get on the TV catch up apps, and you want to watch, last night's I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. So you load it up on the 10 play and stuff like that, and you start watching it. Then you get the 6 ads every 10 minutes, right? So you get your ads and it goes crazy. So what this thing does is you can load up any show, any web-based video, so long as it can start playing inside this app's browser, then you can cast it to your screen. But the good thing about, and this is why I paid the $15 so I could scrub, but what I did with this was, so I was watching the 10play.com.au, but what it does is it goes to the 10play, say, server, and grabs the file, like it knows where that file lives. So there's no ads because it just has access to the
Okay.
file.
Took a while to get there. It takes the ads out.
So what it is, because with the 10play app, like it inserts the ads. So you've got the media file running in the background. So the 10play app will stop the media file, play the ads, and then start the media file again. But this bit of software, this app, discovers what that media file is, and then it doesn't have to take commands from the 10play app. It just plays the media file.
Yeah, well, the 10play app, the 10play website is a dedicated web player, and chances are it plays the videos the same as the website does. They wouldn't like that, would they?
No, they wouldn't. No. And I'm not sure if they understand that this little app's out there or not. I don't know. But look, it is a good way because, like you can sit there watching some of these shows and at the end of the night, you've watched 20 minutes of ads.
Yes, yeah, this has got its place, yeah.
That's right. It's got a place in my place anyway. So, it's called the Video and TV Cast Chromecast, the Chromecast movie streaming app by Kraus and Carniff, GBR 2Kit Consulting. So,
yeah, and it's quite reliable, is it? You've used it plenty?
Yeah, that seems to be. Look, it does take a little bit of mucking around to get to learn how it sort of wants to operate. But once you sort of get around that, I haven't found anything that won't cast through it.
So you grab your phone, you run your app, you say 10 play, get me out of here, whatever.
Browse to the web page. You can't run the app, so you've got to go to 10.com.au. Then you find and then it comes up down the bottom and says, "Okay, I found a video. Do you want to cast it?" So you push the link, and then
you go to Google Chromecast or whatever. You use a Chromecast in with this, or play it on your phone.
Yes, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, okay. Oh, that's
so try it out for free.
Yeah. I wonder if that'll go down. Chances are someone's going to find out about it, and it becomes commonplace like Airblock Plus. It's going to start getting circumnavigated because Airblock Plus is not much use in those apps, those TV shows. You remember Airblock Plus when it first came out, it was great. It used to really filter out all the ads quite well, but now either the website doesn't work or it doesn't seem to stop the ads.
And another quick little thing I just thought of, just to finish up on, is just moving a little bit off topic, was when we went up to the sunny coast as well just before Christmas, and I was up there and I wanted to, watch Netflix and so forth. So I took my Chromecast up, everything was fine and dandy, and they had pretty good speed in the unit that we stayed in, some internet speed, and I thought, well, I'm not just going to hook in, with no clothes on. So I thought I'd, I booted up my little private internet access app. The VPN. But unbeknownst to me, did you know that these VPNs, they somehow, some of them just can't play those streaming apps. They
because
won't.
Because of the location.
No, they just won't do it. They won't decrypt them because for whatever reason, like I don't know whether say Netflix has decided, we know what IP this VPN uses, so we're going to block it. So
Actually, I've seen that because I went to I used a VPN. I went to BBC. There was a what's that Army War one? Not Survivor. No, the one where they treat them like they're in a military camp.
SAS.
SAS, yeah. There was a British SAS. I really liked the Australian one. I thought I need more of this, so I went off to the British, BBC, and sign up here and stuff. And I got my old account with BBC, and off I go. Yeah. Oh, sorry, can't play it in Australia. So I go, ha. Okay, I'll make it look like I'm in Britain. So I get on my VPN. I'm in Britain. Thank you very much. Away I go. We still can tell you're in Britain. You're not in Britain. You're not having it. I'm thinking. Yeah. Here's a VPN. How do you know I'm not in Britain? I'm assuming they must blacklist IP addresses that come from VPNs.
Look, they may. So like you might have to go a step further, maybe like put the VPN like into the router, like rather than just on your phone. So you might have to go that little step further. But if you want the SAS, it's on the 7 play catch up.
No, that's Australian SAS, not the British one.
British one.
Oh no, well yeah, but I wanted to watch it 6 months ago. Not now. I'm over it now. I don't watch it anymore.
Fair enough. Yeah, but in saying that, so I'm changing my VPN with the PIAs up pretty much in a week. I got the thing today, and apparently, as all my investigations have unfolded, there's ExpressVPN is the better one to go with. So I'm going to give that a shot.
Okay, it'll be interesting.
Yeah,
see if you can watch a British SAS.
Yeah. Well, look, I've done VPNs to the BBC. I didn't have a problem. It was probably a year ago. I didn't have a problem. But
I'm not paying much for my VPN. I actually get it. It's a part of my password manager. Dashlane has a VPN built into it. Dashlane's very upmarket when it comes to password managers. That and LastPass, but it didn't. Whatever they BBC seemed to know that I was not there anyway.
Yes. Yeah. Look, I'd say it's probably. The more you pay, the better it's going to be. But yeah, maybe. So anyway, I ended up watching me show on a naked VPN's line, and I thought, well, what are the chances? But still, I thought I had the VPN. I want to give it a go. You don't know who's snooping or whatever.
So you took a VPN device with you when you went away?
No, just put the loaded the VPN up into the iPhone, like turned it on, and then just tried to stream that to the telly.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's a simple setup, yeah.
And it wouldn't even play. It wouldn't play properly on the phone either while I was on the VPN. So yeah, a couple of problems. But anyway, that's that story.
Very good. We'll leave the Google article for Will and Jace.
Yes, and so thanks for everyone for listening. I know if you wanted to watch it live and you're looking for it at 7 p.m, you've missed it because Paul and I'd like to go early in the afternoon, so then we can relax at night. So look, it'll be up on the Facebook and the YouTube, so you can catch it there as normal. Get the website at aussietechheads.com.au/podcast, and that's about all. I think we'll see you again in another month's time when we seem to be rolling around on the podcast.
It's what we do.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. It's good to hear from you and see you again in the new year, and glad you're doing well. So we'll see you next time. See you guys. Thanks for the Patreons once again, and we'll see you all soon. Cheers. Bye for now.
See you all.
There's no outro because we're substandard. Sorry. Bye.
Well, you're going to cut it somewhere, aren't you?